Time for tea with friends. This summer, I invited two friends to a newer Ontario tea room in Woodstock, Ontario. This location is called the Crafty Corner Tea Room. This one did not meet my standards, but let's see how it fared with my tea friends today. Let's begin with the menu. It was many pages long, but we were able to find the tea options. I chose Earl Grey. Kelly chose the peach white tea, and Pam does not enjoy warm beverages, but we talked her into trying chocolate mint, knowing she loves chocolate. She also ordered a Diet Coke because she does not like warm beverages. Our tea arrived in little individual pots with tea bags inside. My Earl Grey tea was good, as one would expect it to be. We ordered a tea for two and a tea for one, as set out in their menu, because we are 3 people. The food arrived in a reasonable amount of time, even though the server owner had said it would be delayed because they needed to mix more cream for our tiers. From the menu, we got to choose 3 sandwiches of 5 options. Kelly and I both chose cucumber cream cheese, ham and Swiss, and roast beef and provolone. Pam chose the tuna instead of one of these, but otherwise we had the same things. We also each got a deviled egg. Neither Kelly nor Pam eat deviled eggs. Some chocolate-covered pretzels, some almonds, and some veggies to round out our savory tier. The 3 sandwiches were all large-size bread sammies, as you can clearly see. They were cut into cute shapes, but they were cut quite sloppily, and the sandwich fillings were pretty meager. The bread was fresh, but overall they felt very basic and all on plain white bread. I did enjoy the deviled egg, and I even ate Kelly's. Here's what Kelly had to say about the savories.
The menu was very simple. However, for picky eaters, it was great. I'm one that likes flavor. A little spices added, like a cucumber sandwich, maybe some dill added to it. However, if you're a plain eater, it was an excellent sandwich. Same with the breads. It was all white bread, but I do enjoy having the breads mixed up. Whether it's a flavored bread, a seeded bread, or a whole wheat.
For scones, we each got 1 scone, and there were 3 different types. 1 cranberry, 1 cheese, and 1 plain scone. Between our tea for 2 and our tea for 1, there were 4 pots of cream and 2 jams. Odd math there. Kelly and I both wanted the cheese scone, but because I am a lovely tea friend, I let her have the cheese scone and I had the plain scone. This 3 types of scones makes no sense to me. Why do it this way? Also odd, the server owner mentioned that they had a lovely strawberry scone and even took time to show us said scone. But we did not receive, nor was one offered to us, so mentioning a 4th flavor was odd, at least to me. In terms of taste, the scone was fine and fresh. The cream was not proper clotted cream, and in fact it tasted like cherry. No, I am not kidding. Somehow this cream had been flavored with cherry. It was a great cherry cream that I could eat with a bowl of berries, but it has no business being served with scones. It was nothing near the neutral decadent flavor of real clotted cream, and, in my opinion, imagine putting cherry cream on a cheese scone. Why? Just why? Although the cherry-topped cheese scone didn't bother Kelly. And I hate that I even have to talk about the sweets here, because it was truly maddening. Between our tea for 2 and our tea for 1, we received 8 total items, which were 3 squares, 1 full butter tart, 2 macarons, and 2 meringues. What are we supposed to do with this? All 3 of us really wanted the butter tart. I asked the server owner if we could purchase another butter tart. No, they did not have any more butter tarts on hand. So I cut up these desserts to share between 3 of us. I did not try the lemon square, as I split that between Kelly and Pam, and I took a bigger piece of the millionaire's square. Is that fair? I do not know. I was able to offload the macarons onto their plates. As you know, I don't like these tasteless almond cookies. So in the end, our sweets looked atrocious after being hacked apart with a butter knife. But we had to work with what we were given, as we all wanted to try the options given. This is not how afternoon tea usually goes. You can watch about 50 of my video reviews to see that the normal procedure is that every guest gets every sweet. So there would be 3 of each item in this case. The normal count of sweets is 3, 4, or even 5 sweets per person. Again, watch a few of my videos and you'll see how atrocious this situation is. While I'm on my soapbox, this menu is much more complicated than it needs to be. I discussed with the owner-server the difference between the afternoon tea on weekday versus Sunday afternoon tea, and honestly, I was not able to get a straight answer on the difference, other than Sundays is more substantial. So it's more? Question mark? I think she said that tea for two has 7 sweets on Sundays, and 2 during the week with an extra macaron if they have them available. Our tea for 2 tier did not have 7 sweets, and this was a Sunday. She even brought out the kitchen staff to try to break it down for me, the poor gal. I left unsure if we were actually served the Sunday tea version or the weekday version, because what they were saying did not match what we were served. And just so you know, we booked 6 days in advance, so they knew we were coming for afternoon tea on a Sunday for the plumped-up version that they note on their menu and their website. Our bill for afternoon tea for all 3 of us was $92, so divided by 3, it was $30 per person on a Sunday. This is on the low end for tea rooms in Ontario, but this offering was also on the low end. While this tea room is on the newer end, according to social media, it looks like they opened about 14 months ago. A year is plenty of time to sort out your business procedures before this queen comes for tea. Overall, this tea room needs to do some research on what is quote-unquote normal for tea rooms in our area and bring their offering and menu closer to what's normal. A little market research is needed here so you don't have avid Ontario tea goers like myself disappointed. It's too bad because the owner seems really sweet and lovely, but being sweet and lovely isn't enough when you're running a for-profit business. Let's see what Pam and Kelly thought and how they'd score their afternoon tea experiences, because the point here is to see how others feel, not just me. Kelly, what was your favorite bite today?
The scone, the cheese scone with the cream that was flavored, cherry flavored, and the strawberry jam on it.
And how would you rate your overall experience at Crafty Corner?
A 6 out of 10.
Do you want to add anything else?
It was very busy in the store, so you didn't know where to look, but I think part of that is because it's a store. It was a lovely environment for chatting with your friends. However, we did have a late appointment in the day. I did find we were rushed. We were told that our food would be a little late because they had to make new batches because they had run out, which is fine. But then at the end, we were being rushed to finish up and leave, and I don't appreciate that.
Pam, what was your favorite bite?
My favorite bite was the Millionaire Square. It was very delicious. I love the caramel middle part in it.
Do you wish you could have had a whole one to yourself?
That would have been really, really nice, but we only had one, so we had to split it up.
What is your overall score?
Because I'm a teacher, I'm going to give it a 2-.
That's quite low. Do you care to elaborate?
Well, when I walked in, I felt immediately kind of stressed out just because the environment felt like a church bazaar. There was a lot of things hanging on the walls and lots of crocheted trinkets. There's just stuff everywhere. But I did appreciate when she came over to me when I'm not a huge tea drinker and gave me suggestions, and she was very kind and she really wanted us to feel comfortable there. She did ask us to ring a bell to get her attention, which I know we had some trouble with that. We just couldn't do it. I can't get someone's attention with a little jingle of a bell. That would probably drive me crazy. I didn't love the presentation, but I didn't feel like it was beautiful. I wasn't drawn to it. I didn't think it was a colorful representation of the tarts and the sandwiches. The found that the scones were not fluffy and overly flavorful. I'm just echoing Kelly, but I felt like at the end I did feel rushed. At the end we were still eating and she asked us if we wanted boxes for the food, and we weren't even really close to being done. We still had to eat a tart or two.
Enough said. Give this tea room more time to sort out their menu and offering, and maybe try it next year if you're in the Woodstock area. Thanks for watching this episode of Tea with Friends. I have one more to share with you from Goderich, Ontario.